It was about midnight, the 21st of October. Company had just air assaulted in to HLZ Bulls. We were forward of any support from the battalion at that time, so we knew it was going to be challenging, but we didn't know how challenging that night was going to be.
So immediately we were off to a rough start. A lot of our aircrafts had been separated by enemy fire, and the phased landings were not going well. Many of our squads were splintered and were attempting link-up operations.
So at this point, the company's consolidated on the north side of that HLZ, and we're waiting for those last couple birds to come in. My security team identifies a 4-man element crossing right through the open on a beeline with them, and we prepare for that tick. And then, bang.
That's when we heard the call.
One of my team leaders, Sergeant Jones, gets on the radio, immediately starts yelling, "Private Bots is down."
It was absolute chaos. Private Bots was down, and his battle buddy Doubts was freaking out. It was the worst case scenario. It was friendly fire.
Sergeant Jones immediately begins treating that casualty and radios to me that it was Major Scott who had fired the rounds. At that point, I identified Major Scott moving to my position. Before I could ask him what happened, I'll never forget what he said. "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?"
Honestly, at this point, I'm furious. I haven't been getting any updates. I have no idea what's going on, so I begin moving to 3-6's position. And at that time, I see him start to walk Major Scott towards me.
I think initially we thought this was simply an isolated incident, but as we began to pull the thread on this, it was so much bigger than we could have ever imagined.
I asked Major Scott about pushing the SIR up on the battalion command net. He shot me.
As I bent down to assist the PA and treat bots, Major Scott shot me.
I was standing next to Sergeant Jones maintaining security of the site when I was shot by Major Scott.
I was not shot. It was zero loom, or maybe Major Scott just didn't have his nods on, but he clearly couldn't see me.
I was shot by Major Scott.
I was on a log pack, and Major Scott just came out of the woods, and he shot me.
I'm just taking a and this shoots me.
I mean, as an infantryman, you know, like, the #1 cause of death on the battlefield is hemorrhaging. Caused by Major Scott.
I was shot by Major Scott. I was shot by Major Scott.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, one was just underneath my collarbone, and the other was, between my first and second rib.
There was blood. So much blood. It was everywhere.
I was shot by Major Scott.
What the do you I'd heard the rumors in the formation about fratricide. I confronted Major Scott. He shot me.
Looking back on that night, I think it's fair to say that Major Scott shot us all.
It's pretty cut and dry. I mean, this doesn't get any clearer that the most deserving party of this dirty dog dish is Major Scott.
I'm Michael J. Botts, and I was shot by Major Scott.
As you know, Wolfhounds, I was unable to go to JRTC with you. As the story goes, I slipped getting out of the shower and ate it. Unfortunately, the real truth lies in that one of our majors, and you know who I'm talking about, sir, was a little trigger happy and out of one of our trainings shot me in the back.